I first met Anthony on the playground of Our Lady of Lourdes Elementary School.
I was impressed with him from the very beginning, even as a law student. He's very smart, very, very intense, very committed. He's very sweet, but if you don't know him, it's like, ooh, I'm not gonna mess with him.
He has, a very sort of intense demeanor, but as soon as he cracks open a smile, he kind of pulls you in and, makes you feel completely at ease and completely comfortable with him.
He's a very devoted family person. I think his devotion to family also translates to his devotion to his people.
Anthony has a passion and operates with passion in every facet of his life.
He really always wanted to be very well connected to the community, and Anthony is a role model. He also has a very wonderful program that helps people of color figure out how to get into law school.
What the organization does is we provide educational consulting services for students of color who are seeking to apply to law school.
What Anthony is doing is reaching out to undergraduates of color, people who aren't in law school, and saying to them, you can do this, and this is how you do it.
Anthony's first year of law school, he met a student who was applying to law school. He was still in college. The student asked his teacher, what would it take for me to be a student here at UCLA Law? And the teacher said, well, you need a perfect LSAT score and you need perfect grades. Otherwise, you can just forget about it. Anthony overheard this and pulled the student aside and said, that's not entirely accurate. So why don't I mentor you and why don't I help you? And maybe we can package your application in a way that really puts forth your voice, puts forth the history of where you come from, and maybe that'll help you get into law school. The student applied and successfully got into law school and eventually became a lawyer. And that got Anthony thinking, there's a way that I need to package this information to really reach all those students I can't reach in the student lounge individually.
I showed up at this workshop and Anthony was this tall guy, looked very successful, had his suit on. I was really impressed. He was very professional, he had pamphlets for us, and where my parents left off, Anthony kind of picked up. And he looked like me, he had a similar story, and I could relate, so I believed it.
I think what drives Anthony is an overwhelming sense of commitment to motivating our community to seek a place at the table politically, legally, and educationally. He has authored an incredible law school admissions guide for people of color. He has built an organization that provides mentorship opportunities and services for students who can't otherwise afford to get those opportunities.
There are many people who would not have gotten into law school or become lawyers except for the efforts of Anthony.
I remember going up to Anthony and telling him, is this really a career for me? I'm a gay Latino. How will I make it in this field with professionals who may not see me as an equal? And he told me straight up, he said, you may have it harder, but you can have it. And something within me shook, and I knew that I was going to do it. It's not magical that you can be successful in this country. There are a lot of steps, but it's knowledge that empowers people of color, all students, to take control of their situation, and I think he broke it down. And I think in doing that made law school accessible to students that would have never in their wildest dreams thought of being lawyers.